Hello everybody and welcome back to another Kangaroo Joey Plays video. Today's video, it's a little different than what I normally do. But it's been something I've been thinking about for a while, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to talk about this, because the first thing that I wanted to do was to go to MegaCon and talk to Sean Schmiel about this, and then I realized that that is the most loser thing that I could do, so I'd rather just upload it and put it on the internet. So this is why I think Dragon Ball transformations are stupid and wrong. And I would say this is somewhat of a controversial take, kind of a lukewarm water one, but I would say it's only that if I said it was limited to Super, but I think it bleeds over into Z2, and that's where it gets a little more controversial. So let's just go ahead and go into it. So what the first thing I want to talk about is what they did right about transformations. See, if you look at like the original Dragon Ball, which by the way, if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you haven't seen the original Dragon Ball show, get out. But if you look at the original Dragon Ball and the first three sagas of Dragon Ball Z, which I would say like Saiyan, Namek, Cell, you would see that transformations are extremely limited, and when they're most prevalent, obviously in the Namek Cell Saga area, they have mystery to them. They have power to them. And another thing that blows my mind is they're not numbers. I know that sounds crazy because there were power levels, and first things first, Dragon Ball has always been a gag anime. Maybe not completely, especially as not full force as something like One Punch Man, but Dragon Ball makes fun of shonen while also being a shonen. It's always been that way, and power levels were a part of that. So get that out of your head now. Like, that's why they dropped power levels, because people didn't quite understand that it didn't actually ever matter. Past that, Super Saiyan was a legend. Ascended Super Saiyan felt like you were pushing past a legend. These were two moments that, if you didn't know anything about Dragon Ball and watched through the whole thing from beginning to end, would have a serious impact on the viewing experience. Like, genuinely powerful moments in the anime is when Goku breaks into Super Saiyan and when Gohan pushes past Super Saiyan. Insane. Amazing moments. It just made it 10 times better. Now let's talk about how they ruined it immediately. Super Saiyan 3 sucks, and I am not sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and just get this out of the way. Yeah, I am biased because I think it is extremely ugly. I think the hair's too long. I think no eyebrows look stupid. But it's more than that. It's more than that. Because when Super Saiyan 3 happened, it came out of nowhere. And I see a lot of Super Saiyan 3 fans that have a main complaint about, why does Super Saiyan 3 not get enough showtime? And it was just there to advance Goku. After the Cell Saga, Goku decided he wanted to stay dead. Obviously, he changed his mind during the Buu Saga, but after Cell, he decided he wanted to stay dead for a while. It's somewhere where he thought he belonged. He should not have been training to push past Super Saiyan 2 in that time. It makes sense for Goku to want to stay in physical fights and helping people in the other world. It does not make sense why he would be training to become more powerful like that. And even if you can argue that he would do it anyways, which I honestly still don't think that's completely in character for Goku, because every single time he's been shown trying to push past it before has always been because he needed to, not because he wanted to. But just Super Saiyan 3, it made no sense. And that's when I started to think transformations were stupid. That's when it started to feel like, because like, why is it 3? Why did we go from Super Saiyan to Ascended Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan 3? Because the second we had Super Saiyan 3, it made the other two Super Saiyan 1 and 2. It felt like it made it less impactful because they're just numbers. It's just like a, you push the envelope once and then you push it one more time. It's like there's less impact the more you push it. That brings us to the Buu Saga as a whole. I love the Buu Saga. It did one thing. It's probably my favorite thing it did. It made Mr. Satan a good character. I don't know if you ever watched the Cell Saga. He was annoying. In the Buu Saga, he was annoying, but in a good way. And I don't know. Buu Saga was a great saga, especially for character interactions, introducing new characters, furthering character relationships. I loved the Buu Saga in that way. I hated the Buu Saga for making everyone but Goku useless. and I know that sounds crazy, but if you watch back through the Buu Saga, no one does anything. No one. It's like they kept setting people up. Like they kept setting Gohan up to do something. They set Vegeta up to do something. Even introducing fusions and trying to get Goten and Trunks involved. I love all of those. I hate how it inevitably meant nothing. Goku should have taken a step back in the Buu Saga. Not completely, but as we've seen from the other sagas, Goku was always the main focus, but he wasn't the only contributor. And it was in Cell Saga when they really pushed the envelope to really show that, like, Goku really doesn't have to be the main character when there shouldn't be a main character. Like, I get it that he's the most important and he always will be, and I love Goku. Goku's probably my favorite character in the show. But there's too much Goku happening in the Buu Saga, which is why when you get into Super, the main complaint of Super is it feels like it's only Goku and Vegeta. And you're right, that's why the Super Saga kinda sucks. Instead of Tournament of Power, that's when they start to reel it back. But Super as a whole, it's so Goku and Vegeta, but just Vegeta right behind him the entire time. It's so Goku and Vegeta and no one else. And I think that's not Super's fault, but I think it's also the Buu Saga's fault. And that brings me to Super and what I think Super does wrong with transformations. Super Saiyan God was not the name they were originally going to use. They called it that for the movie. Originally, it was just going to be Saiyan God. It's you being a Saiyan using God Ki, right? It's part of the legend, the myth, whatever. It got the name Super Saiyan God, and then Super Saiyan Blue is just the nickname for it, because the actual term is Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, which is just so mind-bogglingly stupid, by the way. Although it is kind of funny to say. I enjoy saying it because I think it's funny to say, but it is stupid. I have to admit, it is stupid. I don't know what more to say than why is it blue? Let's just call it just Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God for a second, instead of Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Okay, Saiyan God red plus Super Saiyan yellow creates Super Saiyan God orange. Red plus yellow equals orange. Now, I know some people might be thinking like, well, orange doesn't stand out as much. It's too similar to yellow, which part of me agrees, but another part of me thinks, not really. Maybe in Z, honestly, that would be a thing that you'd have to worry about. But in Super, the colors, they were so, like, the colors popped in Super compared to Z. It's actually something that I think wouldn't have been a problem. Although, I do think Super Saiyan, for some reason, got more gold than it did yellow. And I miss when it was more of a whitish yellow, or just kind of more of a plain yellow. When it started breaching on, like, gold, and I think that's just because of, like, maybe even just the shading of it, but it got too dark, and I think that's why, one of the reasons why people think orange wouldn't look as good, or it would look too similar to just normal Super Saiyan, is because of that. And I think if the animation was better, it would have been just a much better option. So then that brings me on to Super Saiyan Rose, because what comes past blue, right? Super Saiyan Rose is perfection. Zamasu took a mortal's body and he's a divine person. So the only explanation for Super Saiyan Rose is that, like, a divine person going Super Saiyan would make Super Saiyan Rose, which I think is a little weak, but almost there. I would say what a better explanation for it to be would just be simply that Zamasu stealing Goku's body would want to push that body as far to, like, as far away from a mortal being as he can. He would have God Ki, and he would perfect Super Saiyan God. And that, like, so there would be Saiyan God red, Super Saiyan God orange, and then, you know, it's because it's still kind of in the same, like, range of colors, I'd say, so it's not too far-fetched. But then Super Saiyan God Ascended, which doesn't sound that bad, especially compared to Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. So Super Saiyan God Ascended, also known as Super Saiyan Rose. That's how I would have explained it. And I think that's a form of, like, absolute perfection. And I'll touch back on that more later. And I'm not just saying that because I like it. Also, little side note, has nothing to do with anything. I think Zamasu might even be my favorite Dragon Ball villain. I will never call him Goku Black. It was a nickname. When we found out he was Zamasu, he should have always been called Zamasu after that. Don't know why people kept calling him Goku Black. Think that's a stupid name. I think it worked as a nickname for a moment. I'm gonna leave it there. He's Zamasu to me. Super Zamasu is pretty sweet too, by the way. Okay, now moving on. This is how I think it could have been different from it going on in Super, and, like, when we were talking about, like, fully reached potentials. One of the first things I want to look at is how I think Beast and Ultra Instinct got put on the wrong people. And in Super's current writing, it makes sense, but I don't think it's compelling. And that's why just not changing too much, not creating something crazily different. How I would have done it differently in this way. So get ready. Don't read ahead, by the way. But this is how I would have done things differently. My transformation timeline, if I could have wrote super different. 1. The ritual affects all of the Saiyans involved. Just that. The only two people were Goku and Vegeta who got God Ki. Vegeta's reasoning was just training with Whis. I don't think that's a very good reason. If God Ki is something you have to tap into, like enough where they had to do a whole ritual for it, I mean, the ritual, it was interesting. It was kind of an ass pull, but it was interesting, and I like it. But I would have rathered it just affected everyone. Now, didn't mean everyone had to turn Super Saiyan God, but everyone could have tapped into God Ki if they wanted to, which, again, would have let all the characters had an ability to progress and grow if they wanted to, not being so enclosed on Goku and Vegeta, right? Then I would say Gohan decides to train with Whis too. Considering the whole Golden Frieza thing, Gohan would be traumatized, like he's been traumatized his entire life, but he wouldn't want his daughter to be traumatized. He would want to make sure his family's safe. And we know that's true because everyone's like, oh, Gohan got weak, and then they changed it in Super where no, he was secretly training. Why did it have to be secretly training? I think that was just to try and retcon the fact that he was a nerd and didn't care anymore. I still think he's a nerd and doesn't care, but I think he would train for different reasons. And I think he would decide to train with Whis too. And then that's when I would say they would reach Super Saiyan God. You know, this is my orange form. This is when they go from Super Saiyan God, from Saiyan God to Super Saiyan God, the orange form. And then, obviously, they see Super Saiyan Rosé for the first time. And this would spark ideas in their minds. So first, I would say Vegeta will start training vigorously, pushing his ki into Destroyer territory in attempts to get Super Saiyan Rosé. See, Destroyer energy isn't very well explained in Super. And I like to think Destroyer energy is God Ki when it is being pushed past its limits. And I'll talk more about that. Okay, then Goku would blindly follow suit in attempts to catch up, and they would both unlock Beast form in some way or another. I'm not going to go too in details about just details about how they would do it. I'm just saying, like, kind of the order of how I would have things happen, right? Because this is just about the transformations. Then Gohan would reach Ultra Instinct Omen because he'd be smart and he'd keep following Whis. And I would also think if they're all training with Whis, I think Gohan, because of his intellect and his potential, because he has crazy potential, I feel like he would surpass Goku and Vegeta, and that would push them further to want to, like, become stronger. But the thing is, Gohan's not doing it to become stronger, he's doing it to be a good father, a protector. So Goku and Vegeta, who aren't doing that, are pushing the wrong direction. Then, Tournament of Power. I would say Goku and Vegeta, this is the only time I'll cram on transformation, would go Ultra Beast, right? Beast, how strong it apparently is now, is how strong I would make Ultra Beast, actually. And Ultra Beast, on the other hand, I would have it be more like Super Saiyan 4, because one, everyone likes a nod to GT and the non-canon stuff. Everyone loves the non-canon stuff. So I'd make it look more like that. And I would have it be kind of like when you would combine Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken, where it like kind of destroys your body. I'd say the Ultra Beast is like pushing past God Ki, like you're almost like in Destroyer God territory of power, but you are destroying yourself because your body can't handle it. So I would say this is actually the strongest form, even stronger than Ultra Instinct, but it's not good. Like, it's not good in the way that it destroys you too. So I would honestly have them destroy themselves before they could even beat Jiren by this point. And honestly, I don't even know if I'd let Vegeta reach this form yet, but I do like the idea of Goku reaching this form, and this is why. Because after Tournament of Power, Goku realizes that this isn't the path that he wants to be on. It isn't the right path. He needs to get back in touch with his roots, his skill, his technique, and he notices that it's his son who unlocked perfect Ultra Instinct and defeated Jiren in my timeline. Because I know that moment is iconic and honestly perfect, but it's just that moment. The stuff leading up to it, I mean, like, trust me, there's good moments, but they're not, it doesn't feel as compelling, right? But it is nice to know that Tournament of Power is one of the only instances where it actually felt like what they were doing mattered. Because unless Piccolo dies, it really feels like nothing matters what they do. But anyways, I would say Gohan would now mentor Goku, and it would help him learn Ultra Instinct. And then Vegeta, on the other hand, he is so power hungry, he's obsessed with beating Goku. He would harness Ultra Beast and create his own form. And that's what brings me to the next slide. Ultra Ego. I hate Super Saiyan Blue Evolution because I already don't like Super Saiyan Blue. Evolution just, they just wanted to give Vegeta something to do. Stupid. Ultra Ego, I do like Ultra Ego, and I like it more when I think about it, how I would want to do it. Ultra Ego Vegeta would be Ultra Beast, but harnessed. And this is where he would be, like, reaching, like, Destroyer God territory. And honestly, at this point, from sheer willpower, I would say he would be stronger than Goku and Gohan, because he's harnessed it. And you might think this entire time, I don't like Goku, and I'm a Gohan dick rider, and I'm a Vegeta dick rider, and I'm actually not. I'm actually, like, I love Gohan and I love Vegeta, but not as much as I like Goku. But I feel like I'm getting sick of Goku, and because of Super. And I'm getting sick of Vegeta because of Super. But I think these small changes would have made it 10 times better. And I would also say, I don't know, just coming back to the next point after after these next few slides. So hold on. Broly. Should they be allowed to reach Broly's transformation status? The answer is no. No, the answer is no. I think there should be some lore explanation for Broly, because he's the legendary Super Saiyan, and a lot of people have, like, theories about it, but I think it should just more, like, hone down on the fact that he is a descendant of the legendary Super Saiyan, and there is no way they can reach it because he's not a descendant of the legendary Super Saiyan. I think Broly should be more powerful than them, like, forever. I just genuinely think that. Broly as a character, enjoy it, not one of my favorites. I think Broly should and always still be stronger than them. It'll give them a good motivation, but at the end of the day, they would never be able to be Broly. They will never be able to be him. They need humility. They should not be able to just keep powering up and powering up and powering up. And that brings me to my next point, touching back on way earlier. Should they be allowed to get Super Saiyan Rosé? And I would say this one's a little less tricky, because I feel like it's technically possible, especially seeing that someone in Goku's body was able to do it. But I still think that the answer is no. And from Rosé and Broly, I would like to say that they need to be capped. Vegeta and Goku and Gohan and Piccolo and all the fighters, they need to be level capped. These characters are getting too strong. It's getting ridiculous. I mean, it's already past the point of ridiculous on how strong they are. Like, they'd solo any verse ever. And if you want the series to keep going, I think we should stop it here. One of the main problems with Dragon Ball is it feels like it's just like a, until the next point where they get stronger, they defeat the beast, and, they can reverse any damage that was done at the end until the next bad thing happens. They need to be capped, and they need to bring back stakes. That's all I have to say. Their power is limited. One person should not be able to defeat Big Bad anymore. I think it needs to be more than that. Like the Saiyan saga from Z, one of my favorite sagas. Everyone had a part in defeating Vegeta. And Vegeta was, I think at the time, like 4 times stronger than Goku. But everyone had a hand in that, not just Vegeta. And that's something that I really appreciated about that saga. And something that the Buu saga did wrong was that everyone should have helped. Because I get it, because at the end of the Buu saga, you look at the Spirit Bomb and the message behind it, and that's great. But I would have liked to see a more physical representation of that. To genuinely see strategy, techniques, fighting from everyone. Because that was originally supposed to be the end. I would have liked to see something a little better instead of just Goku. I know it's Goku's story, but it's evolved to be past Goku's story. Okay. Now, one more transformation that doesn't really have anything to do with the stories themselves is just another, it's a controversial transformation. Golden Piccolo. Golden Shenron Piccolo, or Orange Piccolo is what he calls it. I don't remember the name. Just Piccolo's transformation. Should it be as strong as it is? I would say maybe. Should he be allowed to have it? Yes. It's his dragon. It's always been his dragon. He's a Namekian. The story's been evolved around the Dragon Balls, and Piccolo's been a part of that story from almost the beginning. I would say the transformation itself, I do like it. I wish it came a little sooner. Maybe it shouldn't be as powerful as it is, but I do enjoy knowing that Piccolo is relevant again. So, let's go into the summary. I fixed it. That's kind of all I would have to say about this is, I think I fixed it. If you feel like I missed something, or you have a better time of events, or just what you would do differently, I really, really, really want to hear it. But honestly, just the way I see it, I think Dragon Ball lost its touch after the Buu saga. And Super, although Tournament of Power, great, I think it's lost its ability to be compelling. I still love Dragon Ball past the Cell saga. I still love Dragon Ball. But it needed to change. And with Daima coming out, I would like to see stakes come back. That's the one thing I really want to see. Because you can't reverse back time. You can't retcon stuff, really. It's not like anything I say would actually have any effect. But I would like to see Daima find out some way to bring back stakes. Because that's something Dragon Ball has lost. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate if you left a like or commented, because I would be interested in doing more content like this, whether it's Dragon Ball or just any sort of like commentary content, because I like changing up my style often. So if you enjoyed this, just leave a like, say something. I'd really appreciate it. You don't have to subscribe, I don't really care. Just let me know if you liked it. Alright, have a good day.